Hey all, Arrzee here. After getting several comments on an old video of mine, I decided to redo this particular bit of my SFM tutorial series. I'll be explaining the steps you need to take here in order to be able to efficiently swap out character textures in SFM for the Sonic models. So let's get started. First things first, you'll need to download GIMP. It's a free image editing software that we'll be using to edit our textures. And secondly, you'll need a VTF plugin for GIMP, so it can actually read and display our VTF files as images. VTFs are Valve texture files. It's what models that are converted into the source engine use as their texture images. I'll be leaving links in the description down below for where you can find the download links for these two. The one for GIMP in particular, I couldn't find the official one was down, so you'll be using the secondary source anyway. I've tested it and it's completely safe. No viruses, no Trojans, none of that shit. It's just the straight download. And the VTF plugin should be fine as well. I also downloaded that today and everything's fine. I've scanned them and everything. You don't gotta worry about that. Once GIMP and the VTF plugin are downloaded, you'll need to run GIMP for it to create all of its necessary files. After you load up GIMP, you'll need to locate the place where you installed the program. Usually this can be found in your C drive. Once you find it, you'll need to find the plugins folder, and from there, you'll need to open up a separate window to find the VTF plugin you downloaded. This way you can easily drag and drop the files necessary. And if you can't quite figure out where the VTF plugin is or where your GIMP folder was created, I'll be showing you here. So as an example, normally when you download VTF Edit, the plugin will be downloaded to wherever you instructed it to place the folder at. For me, I placed mine in its own little unique folder here. But normally, if you can't find the GIMP install, look on your C drive, click on Users, Arrzee for me. For you, it'll be different. It'll depend on your username, and it should be right underneath here. So you should see it right away. You'll be clicking on GIMP, and there you'll see the plugins. This is where you're going to want to open up a secondary window, so Control N. There we go. Then you'll be opening up your download for where you downloaded the VTF Edit plugin. So you'll be going to wherever you downloaded it. I downloaded mine here. Installs. Going to. There we go. VTF plugin for GIMP. You'll want to extract this. You'll want to open it. Normally, you have to have something like WinRAR or Zip or I think like 7-zip for this, or I think Windows just does it on its own as well. The files that you're going to want to move over are file vtf.exe and vtflib.dll. You're going to want to drag these into your plugins folder right here. I already have these here, so I'm not gonna move them over, but once you do, it should change the little logo here. Alright, so next we're gonna open up GIMP. Or if you already have it open for its first install, then it should already be open, but I'm gonna open mine now. I currently have SFM open, and our test subject for this texture swap will be none other than Tails. Just like last time. So you're gonna wanna open up GIMP, you're gonna wanna go to File, Open. Then you're going to want to locate Tails material files. It's where its textures are. If you have the models from the workshop added, these can be found in this order after you locate your Steam Apps folder. Wherever you have your Steam library at, Steam Apps, Common, scroll all the way down until you find Source Filmmaker, so right here, Game, and then you're going to want to locate where you have your workshop stuff, so that would be in Workshop. For the materials, which is what we want, you're going to want to go to Materials, scroll all the way down until you see Models, and then click on APOC Models. Sonic Generations, and that's where you'll find all the characters that you need. We're going to want to scroll down all the way down to Tails. Alright, and there we go. We're going to want to open up Tails' body texture first, since the body textures are normally the easiest ones to change, but feel free to skip ahead to this point in the video if you just like to change his eye textures. Open up Tails' first body skin. That should be this file right here. And if you installed the VTF plugin correctly, this should open up just fine. Changing models' regular textures is normally super simple. Simply find a texture online that you like that fits the model, then go to Open as Layers, And you're going to want to head over to where you have your textures stored. So for me, I have a separate folder just for it. I don't want to open this up. And there we go. Now, all you have to do is merge it down to the bottom layer. Then go to File, Overwrite or Export. Usually I just do Overwrite. That'll take a bit. And there we go. And then if you want to see your results, you can go right over to SFM. You can go to View. You can go to Windows, Console, and that'll open up the console. And then type in this command into the command line. mat, M-A-T, underscore, reload all models. No, I'm sorry. Reload all materials. Give it a bit. And there we go. Once you get that little load screen there, you can click back on the primary viewport. Click on the camera once, and you'll see the texture reload. As you can see, this viewport here hasn't updated yet, so you can already tell the difference with the different textures here. This one is a lot brighter and more vibrant, while this one is more muted and just more drab. As a side note, when editing textures yourself, keep in mind that the textures for the Sonic characters are mirrored. You edit one side of it, it'll also apply to the other. So for example, I can give Tails eyebrows, but I can't give him, say, a scar on his eye, or else I'll have two of them, and not one like I wanted. Alright, let's move on to changing and editing eye textures. This is a bit more tricky to do in comparison to changing a body texture, so you'll have to pay close attention to how this works so you aren't confused. Open up Tails eye texture in GIMP. And that should be this file right here. Go ahead and click open. And from here on out, I'll be reading off script. This is all without a script, all live. I think I'll be working better with this without a script. So follow along closely here as I also try and explain this properly. So what you're going to want to do first is you're going to want to right click on the layer here and go to disable layer mask, as well as edit layer mask. Oh wait, actually no, not that one. Alright, so once you've done that, you're going to want to import your eye texture. So the way you do that is open as layers, and then you're going to want to locate the file, the eye texture that you downloaded. In my case, I have a specific folder for it. Pictures, SFM textures. It's this one right here. We're going to open. There we go. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to scale this down. So first and foremost, I'm going to lower the opacity on it to it gets to a point like this. And then I'm going to click on scale layer. And then I'm going to, oh wait, no, that didn't do it. Hold on. Okay, so you're going to want to find your scale tool, which can be found in tools and then transform tools and scale. After you do that, you're going to want to scale this to match the eye underneath. To do so, you're going to unlock the scale controls here, and then you're going to start meshing around with it. So back. Okay, there we go. Scale. Right, and you're going to want to see and make sure that it fits well. Alright, and it should. Okay, so to repeat real quick, you're going to make the eye layer that you've been fixing up fully opaque. You're going to hit copy. Go copy. You're going to delete it. You're going to click on the layer here, not the red one, this one, and then go paste into place, or paste it in place. And then you're going to hit, hold on, then you're going to anchor it into place, and then disable the layer mask. Once that's done, you should be ready to go, but because this is Tails and not Sonic, we're going to disable the layer mask again, go into colors, hue and saturation, and then edit the eye color to match Tails' eye color. So that would be like around here. Up the saturation a bit. Here we go. Alright, once again, make sure you disable the layer mask before you export it or overwrite. For this I'm going to export. Oh, and actually real quick, before you export, be sure to delete the layer that you had previously, so delete layer. And then file, overwrite, and then you should be good. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and reload. So once again, matte, reload, all materials, enter. And if you reload the camera, you should be good. That's your new eye texture, and you can see by comparison that it is much more bright and vibrant than this one. As a zoom in, we can go ahead and check and see if we did everything right. There shouldn't be any previous eye texture there. Yep, everything's good to go. So yeah, that is a simple guide on how to change not just the body textures for Sonic characters in SFM, but also the eye textures for Sonic characters in SFM. If you have any further comments, any further questions that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to leave a comment down below, and be sure to like the video if this helped you. Thanks again so much guys for watching, and I will see you next time.